In this video, we're going to answer the questions we get most often about J-STRIP and SYM-STRIP. The one question we get perhaps most often is kind of a combination question, is why are there two strip style products made by Z6 for the 5-shot J-frame, followed up by which one of those should I buy? So to start with, Z6 introduced the J-STRIP, which was just a simple strip loader that has spaces in between the pairs, so that the cartridges clear the outside of the cylinder and they just drop in a lot easier into the gun. And we thought this was, a cool product. We put a tab on one end so that you would know which end had the 2 rounds and which one had the single. The tab, we should note here, is not meant to be pulled. This is not meant to strip the J-STRIP off the cartridges at all. Instead, you load the first 2 and you hold the body of the speedloader and you peel off like this. You go to the second 2 and then you put in the last one if you want to put in the last one. Now, soon after launch of J-STRIP, we thought, well, it would be really nice to have a symmetrical loader so that it didn't matter which way it was in your pocket. You could just take it out of the pocket and load. You don't have to find a tab to know which end is which. Now, the SYM-STRIP load order is actually the same as the J-STRIP. Even though, just counting across, you do see 2 cartridges, 1 cartridge, and 2 cartridges. To use this the way it was designed, at least, it's intended to be flipped over after you put in the first 2 rounds. So on this one, you put in 2, you can hold the body, or in this case you can use the tab on the SYM-STRIP because you're pulling off these cartridges and there's another tab on the other side for the other 2 cartridges. But you peel it off, then you have to flip the loader over in your hand, and then you can peel off the other side, and then you can put in your last cartridge. So you can see they both load 2, 2, and then 1. The difference is with SYM-STRIP, you do have to flip it over to load the other 2. So depending on whether that's something you don't want to do, just flip the loader around in your hand, you might want the J-STRIP. Also, if you carry these in a way like in a pouch, or if you put 2 together, as I often do, and put it in like a top shirt pocket where you know the orientation all the time, this might be a better fit for your style. Me personally, I prefer the SYM-STRIP, and I don't use tabs, so I actually take the SYM-STRIP and I just remove the tabs with scissors. I just cut around till it looks halfway decent, and then what I have is the smallest strip loader that I can possibly have. And as I mentioned, it doesn't matter how you pick it up out of the pocket because it's symmetrical. It's going to be 2, 1, 2, or 2, 1, 2. And the only thing, as I mentioned, you have to be aware of is that with SYM-STRIP, you do peel off, and then you have to flip the loader over to put the other 2 in. Also, I should note that we have many law enforcement customers that carry a revolver as a backup, and I'm told that the most common way that they like to carry is with the SYM-STRIP with the center position empty. And what that does is it allows them to reload 4 very quickly, and then they're not going to worry about trying to put the 5th one in. And it also frees up that center position so they can hold it, get a better purchase on it for better control and use. Another question we get fairly often is, can you load wad cutters, or, for example, this is a federal HST ammunition? And the answer is you can. You can use either the SYM-STRIP or J-STRIP to load wad cutters, as in, or I should say, whereas with like the J-clip, you should not try to load wad cutters or HSTs because they lack the conical tip that's necessary to line up into the cylinder. So to load wad cutters or HSTs, instead of trying to go straight in with and trying to get it to line up like this, simply hold the loader at an angle and let those cartridges find the cylinders or the chambers and then can rock up, and they'll just drop right in. And so they do work well with that. I think the last question we get, and this is now becoming one of the more popular questions, is can I use J-STRIP and SYM-STRIP with Ruger LCR? And we originally posted in our literature that these two products were not for the Ruger LCR. And we've had many customers write in saying, why are you saying that? They work fine. So we reevaluated it, and the issue is that Ruger LCR cylinder is slightly smaller than a J-frame. So when you load two cartridges in like that, it stops about halfway. But if you just reach and touch the cylinder with support the cylinder, I should say, and just push in with your thumb, they do go right in, and then they peel right off. Just want to stress the point though is if you do load a Ruger LCR with any of these strip products, do make sure that you are supporting the back of the cylinder. You don't want to you don't want to cause damage to your gun, and as long as you're holding the cylinder and just kind of pinch them in, you're not causing any strain at all on that crane. So you should be completely fine. If I've left any questions unanswered on these products, at least, let me know in the comments below, and I will answer any question you guys put out there.